He said he'd be home. He sure did. He said, call me Wednesday night at 11 o'clock.
Hello.
Hello, who's this?
Pete Myers.
Pete Myers?
Yeah.
Pete, this is Dick Libertor, WJIX Cleveland calling.
Oh, I got a new radio station out there, huh?
Yeah, 3 years old. How you doing?
All righty.
You're on the air right now.
Oh.
First of all, I didn't get a chance to talk to you when I was in New York Friday, but let me explain what we're doing here. I have a program. It's called The Big Beat Show, and we feature the hit sounds of the 50s, 55 through 1960, similar to the program you had back here in HK, right?
Young fella, why don't you get an honest job?
Yeah, that's what they all say, Pete. I can't. This is pretty honest. They told me to stay away from radio, but I can't. So anyway, a friend of mine brought up a tape about 2 weeks ago, and they asked me if I have ever heard of Mad Daddy, and I said, no, I haven't, since I've only been in Cleveland a little over a year. So they said, well, he was real big in Cleveland. So I played a tape of your program from October of 1958. And the response that I got on the program was fantastic. I didn't realize how popular you were. So while in New York last weekend, I thought I'd call you and see if...
sorry I missed you when you were here.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, too, but your secretary, Ellen, isn't it?
Yeah.
She got kind of confused with what I wanted to talk to you about. So we did miss each other just by a few minutes. But anyway, Cleveland's listening in tonight, and you're missed around here from WHK Radio and the sound that you brought to Cleveland, and you left here back in, when did you leave?
In 1959.
Okay, in 1959. Now you're with WNEW, and you're doing a good music show of all things.
Oh, pop, you know.
Pop? How do you consider the pop today as compared with the pop music of yesteryear?
Well, it isn't exactly. See, I used to have Mellow Jello and Wavy Gravy. We don't play that. We got a lot of Frank Sinatra and Peggy Lee and Ella Fitzgerald and like that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, there are a lot of those elderly people that dig that classical kind of music here in New York.
Right. Yeah. Hey, Pete, you know what I have? Mm-hmm. I've got your theme song all set up here.
What, Night Train?
Night Train by the Viscounts?
Well, they did one version of it. I used to use the Buddy Morrow theme, but the Viscounts got all the notes right, too.
I'll tell you, would you do us a favor? Would you go back about 7 or 8 years, back to WHK days, and if I throw the record on, can you do an opening for us?
Well, all right, I'll try.
You know, just like you're on the air, you know, say back in 58. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm sure Cleveland would like to hear it once again. Okay, let me see if I can get it. Okay, it's on. Okay, Pete.
Well, howdy doody and son of a gun, this is Mad Daddy the Wiggy One. I tell you, I'm shooken up here for goodness sake. Hello, all my friends by the Wiggy Lake. We're going to do some super duper scooter pooping here, so hang with us for a maximum of music and a minimum of fun.
Wild. Hey, that's great. just like the tape sounded. Pete, whatever made you give up good music?
What's that?
Whatever made you give up the good music of the years gone by, of the rock and roll era?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's encroaching age or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. You know, all week long I've been promoting this and asking people to give me a call if they have any questions they'd like to have me relate to you. And I've got several here I'd like to ask you. First of all, how long were you at WHK?
Oh, a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's that. Now, here's one that I heard a lot about when I first came to Cleveland. Explain the reason for jumping into Lake Erie.
Well, that was a warm summer.
Yeah. No, there must be more to it than that.
Well, as I remember, I was in between jobs at the time, and we were doing a lot of record hops out there, and I couldn't work on the air because of a contract, and I didn't want anybody to forget me, and I thought I might remind them a little on 4th of July. It was about the 4th of July weekend.
So it was just a more or less a publicity stunt to keep your name, in front of the public, to have people talk about you again.
Well, to be very frank with you, I never thought I was going to have to do it. I told one of the columnists out there that I'd asked the boss of the radio station I was with at the time if I could get around this 90-day off-the-air clause. And he told me to go jump in the lake.
And you did.
And I said I would, and somebody put it in the paper, and it just snowballed, and one day I was out there with 2 parachutes, and I had to do it.
Well, how did you feel about actually jumping?
Well, once the parachute opened up, it was all right, because that's the big suspense, the first 3 or 4 seconds. That first step is terrible.
Yeah, wait, did you have any fears at all?
Like I say, the first step is a big one. After that, you know.
Okay, let me see. I'll cross that question off. Now, would you ever consider doing another show similar to the Mad Daddy show?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Sure, I would. As a matter of fact, there was a period where a couple of people in England were interested in putting it on the air. You know, the Carnaby Street bit over there, and they discovered rock and roll, which was actually all the Beatle records and the Rolling Stones are steals from old American rhythm and blues songs. These kids in London and up in Liverpool bought all these old records that are part and parcel of the American scene. That was a whole new bag in England, and the groups, they bounced back at us like kind of a ricochet from England.
All right, well, even today, you know, the old style records are big over in England. You know, Chuck Berry and...
Chuck Berry, well, even farther back than that, big Bill Brunsey and Howlin' Wolf and Lightning Slim and
sure,
like this.
Screamin' Jay.
Bell and Screamin' Jay Hawkins, who just got a new contract with Decca.
Yeah, now, can you explain the reason for this?
For what?
For the popularity of these artists over in England today and not accepted over here.
Well, they're rediscovered in England. They're brand new. They're... part and parcel of a traditional form of American music, rhythm and blues, which it is, and the English hadn't heard this, I don't think, prior to about 1955.
I see. Well, yeah, you know, I wish, you know, the music would come back of the old days. See, that's all, I believe in it.
Well, I don't think it ever went. A lot of people that holler and scream about the big bands from the late 30s and the 40s and the war years, they're still around, except the people who played with the big bands now make so much money from studio dates that they don't want to get too far away from home in the barbecue pit and mama and the swimming pool and the kids. They don't want to ride around in buses and do one night stands in Youngstown anymore.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Let me see another question. Oh, yes. Now, who gave you the idea of a Mad Daddy character?
Who gave me the idea?
Yes, did you just...
Well, it occurred to me one night. Mad Daddy started in, not in Cleveland, but halfway between Akron and Cleveland, a little place out in the boondocks, the WJIX transmitter, as a matter of fact. And there it was with a lot of grass around it.
Oh, yeah.
And, he was sitting there one night playing rhythm and blues records and doing commercials for Black Draft pills. That was the only spot that was on the air. Black Draft syrup.